Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we are talking mock drafts. We've got some great content coming your way to help you guys with your redraft season, whether you are in a 10-man or a 12-man league, to help you guys out. Now, this is going to be a 10-man league. We're in the third spot in a full PPR. So we're going to hopefully give you some insight of where players are starting to fall, why I'm going after certain players, and of course, helping you guys get an understanding of how this is going to play out when your redraft season starts, if it hasn't already. So again, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, and we're going to get right into it. As you can see, we are at the third spot right now, which is going to help you guys really kind of feel out where players are going. Now, in the third spot, you're probably going to go wide receiver. Maybe if Christian McCaffrey falls to you, that would be a good spot, but most likely you're going to grab a top tier wide receiver and then maybe start thinking running backs later on. So let's see how this draft plays out for us right now. Now, again, this is full PPR, so there's going to be a lot of factors in that one because you want to make sure you take advantage. So you need really good running backs who get a lot of activity in the passing game. And of course, obviously top tier receivers. If you're in a tight end premium or a super flex, your draft would be different. Now, of course, comment down below if you guys do have other formats you'd like to see. I'd love to get those mock drafts out for you guys as well. Now, in the third spot, you saw CeeDee Lamb and McCaffrey go. Not surprising. Right now, McCaffrey's been probably the most common in the one spot, but I have seen CeeDee Lamb go there. Now, for me, I'm going to go Justin Jefferson here in the third. Can't pass him up. I know he didn't have the greatest season last season due to being hurt, and I know there's some really big questions, right? Sam Darnold at quarterback, J.J. McCarthy maybe a quarterback. I'm going to trust the talent. I think whether it's McCarthy or Sam Darnold, I think this offense can be really good. I like Justin Jefferson there. Now, you saw a lot of wide receivers go early. Again, running backs start to pop in. Now, this is where I could play the running back spot. Like got Kyren Williams, who I absolutely love. He's starting to creep up slowly. If you guys haven't already, check out my other video here about players you should be getting that are some league winners. Maybe get a grab a tight end here. I'm actually going to go grab Kyren Williams because I think Williams is a fantastic running back who has been falling. He's slowly creeping back up into the running back spot. But again, he's been kind of overlooked so far this offseason when it comes to redraft. Now, sometimes I have gone the route of shoring up my running back room because the running back is a little bit harder. It's not as deep as the wide receiver. I do risk grabbing a top tier wide receiver who's going to get a lot of fantasy points. So it's a little bit tough. For me, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to grab Chris Olave here because I think his potential is really strong. I think he has the ability to be a top tier wide receiver. Again, a low wide receiver 1, high end wide receiver 2. So I'm going to grab him there and grab a running back later on in this draft if there is one that falls. Now, you see the first quarterback go off the board. Not surprising. I'm seeing them usually around the 4th or 5th, especially those rushing quarterbacks because of their talent, the ability to get the extra points on the ground, especially players like Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts who are absolute touchdown machines as well. So I completely grabbing a quarterback here. Nothing wrong with it at all. Normally, my strategy is going wide receivers and running backs, maybe a tight end, and then grabbing my quarterback later because there are a lot of really talented quarterbacks. And sometimes receivers, there is a big drop between receivers to the next tier and down. So that is kind of how I see things play out. For me, I'm actually going to go and grab Rachaad White here. Maybe I'll grab a quarterback in the next round, but I like Rachaad White because he has been a really big staple in their offense for the Bucs. Again, continues to get plenty of receptions, which has been the biggest thing for him. So I did see a couple quarterbacks go off the board. You got Jalen Hurts, CJ Stroud. I'm surprised CJ Stroud. I have CJ Stroud a little bit lower in my rankings just because of his rushing upside isn't as strong. So for me, I actually am going to grab Lamar Jackson here. Grab a player who has the rushing upside. I like the way this offense is going to play out. I like his receiver in Zay Flowers, a healthy Mark Andrews, and then of course newly acquired Derrick Henry is huge for that team. So I will risk it. Normally I would kind of wait. I could grab a tight end here or again, another receiver, but I'm going to grab Lamar Jackson because I think his ability on the ground is going to be just a big, big difference. Now, I have seen Anthony Richardson fall here. he could be another play. I know he's a big upside guy because of his rushing ability. I'm actually going to grab the stack with Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson. I like the stack ability if you can grab it. Don't force it, though, because it's not a big deal. I think stacking is bigger in best ball strategies than more so redraft, but I like grabbing Zay Flowers here. I think it's a nice little grab. Now, I do have to fill out the rest of my roster. I've got my flex here. I've got my starting lineup. For the most part, I do not have my tight end. I could grab a tight end here at like George Kittle, Evan Ingram. Possibly. I think those guys could possibly fall down. I'm actually going to go and grab another running back just to shore up my depth. And of course, anything with bye weeks, I'm actually going to grab Ramondre Stevenson because I do believe the signing from him this offseason is really New England saying, hey, we believe in you. We're going to use you. You are a staple in this offense. And Ramondre Stevenson had been a pretty effective running back, and there is no more Zeke there. Now, they do have Antonio Gibson, who does have very similar receiving ability like Ramondre Stevenson. I think a little bit better because he was a receiver in college, but I still think Stevenson can have some effect. So I'm going to grab him there and then possibly grab my tight end in this particular spot. Because I like the tight ends of like Jake Ferguson and David Njoku, and those guys typically fall, I'm not going to grab a tight end yet. Again, shoring up best player available. I like Hollywood Brown here for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think he's going to be a big play for that Chiefs offense. I know there's no like prime target besides Travis Kelce. We got Rashee Rice there. You've got Xavier Worthy, who they drafted. But I think Hollywood actually ends up being the guy opposite of Travis Kelce. So I'll take that risk there because, again, he's not my starter. He is my fourth receiver on this team. So I'm not overly concerned of grabbing him there because I think there's a lot of value. Now, looking at the rest of this, I am going to grab, again, somebody who continues to fall, even though he was great last year, Raheem Mostert. I'm not relying on him on being my number one running back, but the fact that he's my fourth running back has RB1 potential based off of what he was able to do last season. As long as he stays healthy, I think that's not a risk at all. I will grab him every single time he falls to me. So, Mostert's there. I got some good depth here. I still need a tight end. I actually am going to go and take the risk on Brock Bowers for the Raiders. I think he's a very talented tight end. I think he has a lot more upside and ability to score more points compared to, say, Njoku or, maybe even TJ Hawkins, who's coming off injury, and then maybe a Dalton Schultz. So I'm going to take Brock Bowers here. I think that's a nice little play. I am going to potentially grab a backup quarterback, but not quite yet. I think I can get one later on. So looking at this amount of players left, I got Devin Singletary, who's awesome. You could grab maybe another Dalton Schultz if you want another backup tight end. I don't think that's a good thing to have. I think you get a good tight end off of waivers. Maybe Courtland Sutton continues to be the number one receiver for the Broncos, even though we don't know who's going to play at quarterback. For me, looking at how this plays out, I think I might end up going and get a Devin Singletary because technically he is the wide running back one. I know they're probably going to mix in multiple running backs in this offense, but I think Singletary has the ability to be the running back who's probably going to get 60% of the snaps. So I'll take that as a again, fifth running back on this roster. So I don't feel forced that I have to. And again, if I could take running backs from other league mates, that's a good strategy as well. Now, filling up the rest of this, I like Romeo Doubs for the Packers. I think he's going to have some good seasons, good games. Again, no one knows what's happening in that wide receiver room for the Green Bay Packers because there's no clear-cut wide receiver one. Any one of them can have a really good game, so just understand that. Now I'm going to grab my backup quarterback, and I'll grab Justin Herbert here. He continues to fall because his rushing upside isn't there. The whole wide receiver room was devastated and completely changed out. There's obviously the whole, we're going to run the ball a lot for the Chargers, so there's obviously that to be considering. So Justin Herbert continues to fall. Does he have the potential to be a top 10 quarterback? Absolutely. He has the talent and the ability. Not sure if everybody believes that quite yet. Even I, who am not necessarily a big Justin Herbert fan, still think he has some potential. So I'll grab him there. I'll grab a kicker here. I like Fairbairn. I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities to score a lot of points, whether it be red zone or, of course, extra points. So I'll grab that. And, of course, ending this off with the defense, I continue to grab the San Francisco 49ers because they are a solid defense who have great talent around. Until they prove otherwise, I think they're going to be awesome. You could go Dallas, too, because I like Dallas as well, just because, not because I'm a homer, but because Dallas defense has been great. And with Mike Zimmer there, I think that's fantastic. All right, so that is my 103 draft for a 10-man league. If you guys have questions for this draft, Maybe you would have gone different players. Maybe you have different formats you'd like to see. Hit me up in the comments down below. I'd love to get some of that content out for you guys to, again, give you guys some different ways to help you guys with your redraft season, because we are almost midway through July, meaning we're getting closer to football season. And again, we want to help you guys out with any of that stuff. So again, comment down below. If you guys felt this draft was great, didn't, whatever, let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll check you guys out next time.